It looks like we found a box turtle. Yep, that's what that is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is called an ornate box turtle. This one is a female. They call them box turtles because they've got kind of they've got a hinge right here that closes up the front of them. See, the front closes up like a box right there. They can completely close up in the back too. And they're called the ornate box turtle because look at this ornate coloration. He's got, or she has, she's pretty dark and she's got these yellow stripes and patterns that blend in with the prairie really well. This is a land terrapin. They call them terrapins. Not a tortoise, not a turtle, it's a terrapin. And so this one is actually a female. So the top of the turtle's shell is called the carapace, and the bottom is called plastron. Right here would have an indention right here if it was a male, but since it doesn't, that tells us it's a female. And so yeah, there aren't a whole lot of these left in Cook County because of habitat loss. They, you know, the pastures that they live in, like these around us, when they get plowed over and developed, that kills the turtles. And so look, it's starting to come out. It has if it had red eyes, it would be that's the sign of a male. If it's got, that's another characteristic of the males, is that they have red eyes. This one doesn't have red eyes, and so it's definitely a female. And so these little sections, these little patterns like hexagons on the top are called scoots. The scoots have these little lines in them that you can count and tell about how old this turtle is. These turtles live on average 40 to 50 years, and there are documented recorded cases of the ornate box turtle, which is this specific species, living to be over 100 years old. And so this one, it's probably about, judging from the pattern of the scoots here, the pattern in the scoots, I'm guessing it's about 20 to 25 years old. And it is a valuable member of its species. The ornate box turtle, they're called ornate box turtles. There's two native species here in Cook County where I live. And the other one's got a brown carapace, the carapace being the top of the shell, and it's called a three-toed box turtle because it has 3 toes on its back foot. The ornate box turtle here has 4 toes on its back foot. So what a beautiful specimen. So I think it's in a pretty safe area, and you know, habitat loss is happening everywhere all the time, and so they're losing their lives really because of that. And in the case of this one, it has a good habitat for now, but as the county develops, it'll probably, you know, it may not make it to 100 years, but we need to give it a fighting chance. It was crossing the road this way, and I'm gonna put it back and just make sure it doesn't get run over. You know, out here on these gravel county roads, that can happen. It's not as likely as in more developed areas. But yeah, the ornate box turtle has a native range that covers just about all of Texas. And Texas is about as far south as they go. And their native range is right in the middle of the United States, all of Oklahoma, and not all the way up north to the Canadian border, but about 2/3 of the way up to the Canadian border. From here, you know, about 2/3 of the US. And then just the middle of the United States. Whereas the three-toed box turtle, it doesn't live in the open plains like this. We're in a real open area, but the three-toed lives more in trees, more in the has a little bit different diet. This one's diet consists of 80% live critters like insects and small animals. He's spending all spring and summer finding grasshoppers, slugs, beetles, anything he can catch that's small. Really, their main diet is insects, the main part of their diet, whereas about 20% of what they eat is vegetation. So the three-toed box turtle is a greater percentage of vegetation, like 50% vegetation and 50% insects. So Beautiful turtle, beautiful day to be out here and find this turtle on my bicycle ride. Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna let him go, let her go, and let her get on about her life, which is what we should do for the turtles when we find them out here. Just let them go.